Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session with the court's arraignment docket. First case is cause number 333024. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Markel Freelo. Mr. Freelo, would you please come forward? Mr. Freelo, is your full name Markel Jermaine Freelo?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Freelo, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Freelo, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Freelo, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Freelo?
You doing all right?
That's good. Now, Mr. Freelo, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on the line stating that you would like to have this case reset to hire your own attorney?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Freelo, before you signed and initialed this document, did you read the document?
Oh, yeah, I read it.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Freelo, your case is going to be reset. You're going to stand in front of the window on the 4X. Once she resets your case, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Okay, put it on the same day. Jose Padilla. Mr. Padilla, your full name Jose Antonio Padilla Garcia?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Padilla Garcia, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Padilla Garcia, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Padilla Garcia? You doing good? Mr. Padilla Garcia, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Are these your initials on the line stating you want this case to be reset so that you can hire your own attorney? Now, Mr. Padilla Garcia, before you sign and initial this document, did you read the document? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, Mr. Padilla Garcia, your case is going to be reset. Please have a seat, that chair on the corner by the wall, and right there on this side of the wall, that chair right there. And once our court coordinator resets your case, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Daniel Harrington. Okay. Mr. Harrington, is your full name Daniel Glenn Harrington?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Harrington, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Harrington, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Harrington, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Harrington?
All right.
That's good. Mr. Harrington, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Uh-huh.
Are these your initials on the line stating you want to apply for a court, that you would like to have your case reset
Yes,
to hire your own attorney? Now, before you signed and initialed this document, did you read the document?
yes.
Did you understand what you read?
Uh-huh.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Mr. Harrington, your case will be reset to give you an opportunity to hire your attorney. Now, Mr. Harrington, I have some bond conditions I need to give to you. Is there a stapler over there? Thank you. Deputy Otis, could you hand this to Mr. Harrington?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Harrington, you have just been handed a document that is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court Law Number 2. Do you see that document?
Yes.
And I will go over this document with you. And it reads, following arrest and accusation in County Court Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant herein or ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Mhm.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who, A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition?
Yes.
And condition number 3 does not apply because I think your, wait, what? Yeah, your cases are DWI cases. Now, condition number 4 does apply because you have a DWI second, which is a subsequent offense listed under section 49.04 through 49.06. And I will go over this document with you on number 4. A defendant who has been arrested or accused of any subsequent offense listed under section 49.04 through 49.06 of the Texas Penal Code shall not operate any motor vehicle unless the vehicle is equipped with an interlock device mechanism that makes impractical the operation of the vehicle if ethyl alcohol is detected in the breath or the operator. And said device shall be installed at the defendant's expense with written verification of such installation being submitted to the court on or before the 10th day, that's after today. Now, Mr. Harrington, could you hand that back to me? I just need to make that change. And I will initially give this back to you. Let's write it after. Now, Mr. Harrington, that condition basically means you have to get an interlock device installed in any vehicle that you own or operate. All right. And you have 10 days in which to do that. And you can provide proof to the court by bringing in the receipt or documents showing that you have the interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
All right. Now, your case is going to be reset to give you an opportunity to hire an attorney. Our court coordinator is going to reset that case. Once your case is reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Bernard Colbert. Court is in session in 3 cases, cause number 331-958, cause number 332-472, and cause number 332-498. All 3 cases are styled State of Texas versus Bernard Colbert. Mr. Colbert, is that your full name? Mr. Colbert, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Colbert, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Colbert? You doing all right? Now, Mr. Colbert, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Right to Defendant without an attorney, and document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Mr. Colbert, on the judge's explanation of rights to defense without an attorney, do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Are these your initials on the line stating you would like to apply for court-appointed attorney? And on the document that is titled Affidavit, Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence, do you recognize this document? And on page 2 of this document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant signature. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Colbert, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read these documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Colbert, I've read your answers in these documents. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. Please stand in front of our clerk right here. You have to swear him in. Right here on the first X in front of this clerk. Wow. Next case is cause number 333014, case of Style State of Texas versus Tashana Marie Brooks. Ms. Brooks, is your full name Tashana Marie Brooks?
Tashana, but yeah, yeah,
Tashana?
yes,
Okay, Ms. Brooks, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Brooks? You doing fine? Oh. Now, Ms. Brooks, that's good. I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
oh, I thought I put what I was.
No, the title, I'm saying what the title says.
Okay, yes,
Okay, is this your signature
yeah,
on the line that's titled defendant? Are these your initials on the line stating you would like to apply for a court-appointed attorney?
yeah,
Now, also, I have a document, Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
yes,
On page 2 of this document, there is a signature above the line that's titled defendant signature. Is this your signature?
yes,
Now, Ms. Brooks, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents?
yes, sir,
Did you understand what you read?
yes,
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
yeah,
Now, Ms. Brooks, I read your answers in these documents. Based on your answers, based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. An attorney that will be appointed to represent you, in this case, is Attorney Peter Dole. Okay?
sure,
Now, Ms. Brooks, I also have before me Deputy Otis, would you hand this to Ms. Brooks? Ms. Brooks, I also have before me a document that's been handed to you. It's titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court Law Number 2. I will go over these bond conditions with you. And it states, following arrest and or accusation in County Court Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds are executed for release of any defendant named herein are subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
yeah,
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol and the test indicates the presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition?
Yes.
And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim or the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, but what if you married to the?
Well, I can't give you any legal advice. Those are the bond conditions. Now, you can discuss that matter with your attorney. All right. Now, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked. And what that basically means is that a warrant could be issued for your arrest and you could be placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Ms. Brooks, you're gonna stand, let's see, did you? Hold on a minute. Did she, was she sworn in? No, I'm just looking at, do we have her pick? You have her affidavit? Do we still have her affidavit images? Okay, hold on a minute. Here it is. Well, she did an unsworn statement, so you don't have to swear it in. Just have a seat at the table right there. And then when the court coordinator is ready, she'll call you up. Here's next case is cause number 332182. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Barry Nash. Your full name is Barry Dwayne Nash. Mr. Nash, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Nash, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Nash?
All right, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Nash, I have before me 2 documents. First document. Let me do this here. Yeah, I got some questions with him too. Now, Mr. Horn, your full name is Aaron. Let's see, Horn, Aaron Justin Horn.
Yes, sir.
I need, I'm gonna have to give him some bond conditions. Mr. Horn, just have a seat. I need to do one more thing. Okay, the court is back in session at clause number 332-182, case is style the state of Texas versus Barry Nash. Mr. Nash, you was previously sworn in, right? Mr. Nash, I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. The second document, well, the first document, do you recognize this document? Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. And is this your signature on the line that is titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials on the line stating you would like to apply for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
Also, I have before me a document that's titled Affidavit of Indigence. You recognize this document? And on page 2 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Nash, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, now, Mr. Nash, I read your answers in these documents. Based on the answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. The attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Mark Faggett. Attorney Faggett will be given information on how to contact you. You will also be given information on how to contact him by our court coordinator. Now, Mr. Nash, I also have some bond conditions that the bailiff is going to have to you. Thank you. And the document is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court of Law Number 2. Do you see that title? And I'll go over this document, which it says, following the arrest and or accusation in County Court of Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition? Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who, A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 3 states the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location figured by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition? Now, condition number 4 doesn't apply because that only applies in the DWI case. Your case is not a DWI case. Mr. Nash, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked. And if your bond is revoked, a warrant can be issued for your arrest and you could be placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that? Now, Mr. Nash, you're going to stand on the X in front of our court, the 4X in front of our court coordinator. Did he check to see if he was unsworn or did he sign the oath? Unsworn? So yes, stand on this X in front of our it's unsworn. Okay, yeah, using the right spot. Once she finished resetting your case, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Aaron Horn. Okay, how you doing, Mr. Horn?
Okay.
Okay, now. This is call number 333-188, case of South State of Texas versus Aaron Justin Horn. And Mr. Horn, were you previously sworn in? Okay, raise your right hand. Mr. Horn, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Horn? You doing okay? That's good. Now, Mr. Horn, I have before me 2 documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
I have really bad.
Okay, could you show that to him?
Sure.
And Mr. Horn, do you recognize that document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Horn, at the bottom of that document, there's a signature on the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Horn, is that your signature? And also on that document, Mr. Horn, there is a set of initials on the line stating that you would like to apply for a court-appointed attorney. Are those your initials?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give Mr. Horn this as well. Now, Mr. Horn, this other document that is, that's just been handed to you is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Is that something you need to?
My cell phone number, it looks like a 6. I mean, it's supposed to be like a 0, it's supposed to be a 6. That's all I see.
Oh, okay, you could, is there a pen you can use? Okay, now, Mr. Horn, on that document, on page 2 of that document, at the top left hand corner, it says defendant's signature. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Horn, those 2 documents that you have been handed and you just reviewed, do you recognize those documents?
Yes, sir.
Now, is everything in those documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
And you read all of those documents before you signed an initial, is that correct?
For the most part, yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
when you
sir, I
say
did.
for the most
Yes.
part, I need to, no, we want to make sure that you know what you're signing. That's the point of my question. So if you need some more time to sit down and read it, or if you need some assistance, we can have somebody in our core personnel to assist you.
I was just saying I needed a lawyer.
I understand that, but what I'm saying, that document right there is the document, that's the affidavit of indigence where you put what your income is and what your expenses are.
Yes, sir, I understand.
Okay, now, is everything in that document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, give me that document back. Okay. Now, Mr. Horn, based on your answers in these documents, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney David Grove. Attorney Grove, yes,
David Grove.
Attorney Grove will be given information on how to contact you. And you will also be given information on how to contact Mr. Grove.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Horn, I also have another document that the bailiff is going to give to you. Thank you, Mr. Otis. And I will go over this document with you. This document is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Do you see that title? And it reads, following the arrest and or accusation in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition?
No, not entirely, because
Well, it's
there was
just,
a restraining order and I'm back at my house now. And the
Well,
victim is
right
my
now,
girlfriend, and
you can discuss that matter with your attorney.
so, I mean, I'm not gonna, am I breaking the law because I'm at my house?
Well, I'm just saying, these are these bond conditions. It says that, I don't know, it says that
Just a
the
little
defendant
contradiction.
shall not, let me do this here. Now, Mr. Horn, you have a right to remain silent. Anything that you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to have an attorney. Now, actually, you've applied for a court-appointed attorney, and an attorney has been appointed to represent you. So if you want to make any statements, you may need to discuss that with your attorney. Okay. So, but these are the bond conditions of the court. You can discuss that with your attorney, and your attorney can let you know what he can do on your behalf, okay? So now, if you violate any one of these bond conditions, your bond can be revoked, and if your bond is revoked, you can be placed in the Jefferson County Jail. And if you're placed in the Jefferson County Jail, if you are placed in the Jefferson County Jail, you'll have a right to bond out, but at this time, these are the bond conditions. You're gonna stand on the X in front of our court coordinator. Once your case is reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.